Geography, Chapter 5, Human Resources. People are a nation of a greatest resource. People are a nation's greatest resource. Nature's bounty becomes significant only when people find it useful. It is people with their demands and abilities that turn them into their resource. Demand and their abilities. And human resource is the ultimate resource. Healthy, educated, motivated people develop resource as per their requirement. Healthy, educated, motivated. Human resources, like other resources, are not equally distributed over the world. They differ in their educational level, age, and sex. Their number and characteristics also keep changing. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana was started in 2015, aiming to train 1 crore Indian youth from 2016 to 2020 train. And the objective of the scheme is to encourage aptitude towards the employable skill by giving quality training to profitable and existing wage earner. The objective of this scheme is to encourage aptitude towards employable skill by giving quality training to probable and existing wage earners. Distribution of population, the way in which the people are spread across the Earth's surface, is known as the pattern of population distribution. More than 90% of the world's population live in 30% of the land surface. The distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven. Some areas are very crowded and some are sparsely populated. The crowded areas are the South and the Southeast Asia, Europe, and Northern America. Very few people live in high altitude areas, tropical desert, high mountain, and areas of equatorial forest. Many more people live north of the equator than south of the equator. Almost 3/4 of the world's people live in 3/4 Asia and Africa. 60% of the world's people stay in just 10 countries. All of them have more than 100 million people. सबसे ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन चाइना, फिर इंडिया, देन यूएसए, इंडोनेशिया, ब्राज़ील, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश. Decline of population. Average density of a population in India is 382% per kilometer square. Population density is the number of people living in a unit area of the Earth's surface. It is normally expressed as per kilometer square. Per kilometer square. The average density of population in the whole world is 51% per kilometer square. Population density is the number of people living in a unit area of the Earth's surface. It is normally expressed as per kilometer square. The average density of population in the whole world is 51% per kilometer square. South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by the East and the Southeast Asia. South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by the East and the Southeast Asia. South Central Asia. The factors which affect the distribution and population and geographic factor. Topography. People always prefer to live in plains rather than mountains and plateaus because these areas are suitable for farming, manufacturing, and service activities. The Ganga plains are the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains like the Andes, Alps, Himalayas are sparsely populated. People usually avoid extreme climates that are very hot or very cold, like Sahara Desert, polar region of Russia, Canada, and Antarctica. Fertile soil provides suitable land for agriculture. Fertile soils such as Ganga and Brahmaputra in India, Huanghe, Zhejiang in China, Nile in Egypt are densely populated. People prefer to live in the areas where fresh water is easily available. The river valleys of the world are densely populated, while the desert has sparse population. Areas with the mineral deposit are more populated. Diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East led to the settling of people in these areas. There are certain social and cultural economic factors as well. Areas of better housing, education, health facilities are more densely populated. Example, Pune. People with religion or cultural significance attract people. Varanasi, Jerusalem, Vatican City are some examples. Economy. Industrial areas provide employment opportunities. Large number of people are attracted to these areas. Osaka in Japan, Mumbai in India are two densely populated areas. It is the number of years that an average person can expect to live. Population change. The population change refers to change in the number of people during a scientific time. The world population has not been stable. It has increased manifold as seen in figure. This is actually due to the changes in the number of the birth and death. For an extremely long period of human history, until the 1800s, the world population grew steadily and slowly. Large number of the babies were born, but they died early too. There was no proper health facility. Sufficient food was not available. Farmers were not able to produce enough to meet the food requirements of all the people. As a result, total increase in population was very low. In 1804, the world population reached 1 billion. 150 years later, in 1959, the world population reached 3 billion. that is often called population explosion. In 1999, 40 years later, the population doubled to 6 billion. 40 साल में 6 billion. The main reason for this growth was that the better food supply, medicine, death was reducing, while the number of births still remained fairly high. Births are usually measured using the birth rate, that is number of life per 1,000 people. Deaths are usually measured using death rate, the number of death per 1,000 people. Migration is the movement of the people in and out of the area. Birth and death are the natural causes of population change. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate of our country is called natural growth rate. The population increase in the world is mainly due to a rapid increase in the natural growth rate. Population increase, population steady, population decrease. This is the birth rate more than the death rate, population increase. Birth rate and death rate same, population same. Death rate more than birth rate, population decrease. Migration is another way by which population size changes. People may move within a country or between countries. Emigrants are the people who leave a country. Immigrants are those who arrive in a country. Countries like the USA, Australia have gained in number in migration or immigration. When a person enters a new country, immigration. When a person leaves a country, emigration. Sudan is an example of a country that has experienced a loss in population number due to out-migration or immigration. The general trend of international migration is from the less developed nation to the more developed nation in search of better employment opportunities. Within countries, large number of people may move from the rural to urban areas in search of employment, education, and health facilities. Pattern of population change. Rate of population growth vary across the world. Although the world's total population is rising rapidly, not all countries are experiences this growth. Some countries like Kenya have a high population growth rate. They had both high birth rate and a death rate. Now with the improving healthcare, death rates have fallen, but birth rates still remain high, leading to high growth rate. In other countries like UK, population growth is slowing because of both low death and the low birth rate. Okay. अफ्रीका में सबसे ज़्यादा अपने यहाँ नॉर्थ ईस्ट में. Okay. Population composition. How crowded a country is has little to do with its level of economic development. For example, both Bangladesh and Japan are very densely populated, but Japan is far more economically developed than Bangladesh. To understand the role of people as a resource, we need to know more about their qualities. People vary greatly in their age, their sex, literacy level, health condition, occupation, income level. It is essential to understand these characteristics of the people. Population composition refers to the structure of population. The composition of population helps us to know how many are males or the female, which age group they belong to, how educated they are, what type of occupation they are employed in, what their income levels and health conditions are. An interesting way of studying the population composition of a country is by looking at the population pyramid. This population pyramid is known as age-sex pyramid. The total population divided into various groups: 5 to 9 year, 10 to 14 year. The percentage of total population is divided into males and a female in each group. Next is the village of the population pyramid tells the story of the people living in that particular country. The number of children below 15 years are shown at the bottom, reflect the level of birth. The size of the top shows the number of the aged people. The population pyramid also tells us how many dependents are there in the country. There are two groups of dependents: young, age below 15 years, elderly, above 65 years. Those of the working age are the economically active. The population pyramid of a country in which the birth and the death rate both are high is broad at the base and rapidly narrows towards the top. This is because although many children are born, a large percentage of them die in their infancy. Relatively few become adults, and therefore there are few old people. The situation is typified by the pyramid shown for Kenya. In countries where death rate, especially among the very young, are decreasing, the pyramid is broad in the younger age group because more infants survive to adulthood. This can be seen in the pyramid for India. Such population contain a relatively large number of young people, and which means a strong and expanding labor force. In countries where death rate, especially among the very young, decreasing, the pyramid is broad in the younger age group because more and more infants survive to adulthood. This can be seen in the pyramid for India. The following contain a relatively large number of young people, and which means a strong expanding labor force. In countries like Japan, low birth rate makes the pyramid narrow at the base, decreased death rate allow the number of people to reach old age. Skilled and spirited and hopeful young people and those with a positive outlook outlook are the future of any nation. We in India are fortunate to have such a resource. They must be educated, provided skills and opportunities to become able and productive. They must be educated, provided skills, opportunities to become able and productive. Educated, they must be educated, provided with skill, opportunities to become able and productive. Thank you so much.